welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a get ready with me using all drugstore products. But there is a disclaimer. The only thing that I do not have that is drugstore is brow product. Everything else I have found that is drugstore or reasonably priced, and I haven't done one of these in a really long time, I feel, and I thought that I would sit down with you guys, kind of chit chat, do a get ready with me. And I'm not naked. I'm actually wearing a dress, and once I put this on, I'm like, ooh, I kind of want to do a fall get ready with me tutorial, and of course it's going to be all drugstore, so I thought this would be perfect. It can be my first fall video getting into the fall. So if you guys want to stick around, chit chat with me, sit back, relax, probably grab a snack or grab a drink, then please keep watching. I will say I am not going to do anything with like any false lashes. I am going to go ahead and start doing my foundation first. Now I have this Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation. This is a pretty dark color. Oh, it's in light beige. Obviously, I'm not light beige at the moment, but I have tried this foundation. I ended up buying this one and the Sonia Kashuk, which I did a review on, or first impression. I actually ended up returning it, hated it. It just was really oily on me. I just did not like it, but I really like this one. It's just so dark on me, and I have to mix it with something else. So this is the lightest drugstore foundation I have. This is the e.l.f. Acne foundation. I have not reviewed this on my channel, but you guys, this is incredible. So I'm going to use these two together, but for my primer, because this is pretty full coverage and pretty heavy, especially since my skin's been pretty good, I will say I have something coming up here, but other than that, my skin, it's just all scarring, so I'm like trying really hard to help with getting rid of the scars. I haven't been wanting to use anything that is like super heavy on my skin, but being that this is a little bit more on the heavier side, I'm going to use the Milani Prime Shield Face Primer. It's a mattifying and pore minimizing primer. I can't remember if I've ever used this. I kind of snagged this from my mom's beauty room and brought it with me. Ooh. It's nice and soft. It is pretty like silicone-y. Let me know what your favorite primer, like drugstore primer, is. I have tried the Angel Veil primer. I kind of like it, but I really wanted something that was going to be a little bit more on the mattifying side. I am going to go in with a corrector though. I hope this isn't old and I hope it doesn't break me out, but you guys know that I actually have been loving using my Becca Under Eye brightening corrector. Well, I have this one from NYX, and you can tell I haven't really used it because the Becca one is all I use. So I am gonna try and use a little bit of this. I'm just gonna add this to try and help brighten up my eyes a little bit. I was gonna add in the Bourjois Healthy Mix Serum Foundation, but since you can only get this either in Europe or you can only get this on Amazon, I think, I'm not gonna use it, so I figured I'll go in with these two. I do love that the Milani has a pump on it, but I have not used this since I tried recording with this foundation. I don't know what happened. I don't think I liked the footage, so I ended up just deleting it. But I do like how the foundation lasted. So I'm literally just taking like less than a pump. Look how dark that is. I looked super tan. I'll leave the video up in the cards above me on me actually wearing this foundation. And I'm almost positive that I wore it. I am going to use a beauty sponge. Okay, that's not too bad. I have not been, like I've mentioned in like every other video, I've not been wanting to wear a whole lot of foundation. I mean, my face is healing so much that I want to just show it off. Like, I'm so excited with how my face has been healing, that the last thing I want to do is hide it. I'm just gonna go ahead and do my face, most of my face. I am gonna use some of my Age Rewind concealer from Maybelline, as well as the Wet n Wild concealer, because I have not used this in a while. And I am gonna try and brighten up my face a little bit. Alright, so I'm going to go in with the Kiko Weightless Perfection Wet n Dry Powder Foundation. This powder, you guys, it's basically a dupe for the Urban Decay powder foundation. Like the Naked Ultra HD one. I did a review a couple years ago, but this is very, very similar to it. So because it is light, I do like to use it to set my under eyes. So I'm just going to set my whole face with this. And I love using this powder just like the Urban Decay one. I like using it wet because with a wet sponge, because I love how seamless and almost airbrush it looks. The palette that I personally like from the drugstore, which I know you can't find this one anymore, I don't think, but she came out with a newer one. So this is the one that no longer is available, the Carly Bible from BH Cosmetics. This is, like, you can find this at Ulta, at least the bigger one. So the bigger one is available, but there are similar colors in this palette that's in the bigger one. So if you have this palette or the other one, still you can create this similar look. And I've only used this a couple of times, and I think I've only used it once on my channel. So I'm gonna use this today. I'm gonna take this shade right here, this first shade, and I'm just gonna use that, apply right on the brow bone. I'm then gonna take the brown, oh, I did not realize there was a mirror here. I'm gonna take the third shade, which is this one right here. On camera it looks a little bit more on the pinkier side, but it's actually more on the brown side. So I'm just gonna add this onto the crease. So I decided, because I'm wearing this like maroon dress, it reminds me of, the color is so fall-ish, that I kind of wanted to do almost like a fall type of look. Alright, so I'm going to be like totally basic and go in with this pink color on my lid. I'm going to take some of this darker maroon shade right here, and I'm going to start applying that to my crease. I'm going to add a little bit more of that lid shade. I'm going to use a little bit more of this color that I used on my crease. I'm going to use that on my lower lash line. I'm going to go in with this guy. This is the Milani Waterproof Pencil. It's in 01 Linked on Black. I got this in my Gen Beauty bag, and my mom said that this is like Urban Decay's pencils, like that, the 24/7 liners, but like a whole lot cheaper. So I'm just gonna use some of this on the top of my upper lash line, just to kind of give it a little bit of definition, since I don't have a drugstore liner to do a wing liner. So I'm just gonna kind of keep it right on the outside, just for some definition. I'm going to take my pencil liner and smoke that out a little bit, because it looks wanky. If that's the word, I think that's the word I'm looking for. Okay, so if you guys have never tried this, I highly, highly recommend to work fast. Dang, this dries so fast. Whatever I had left over on my pencil brush, I'm just adding it to the lower lash line. One's a little bit thicker than the other, but it is what it is. We're not all perfect. I have been in love with this. This is the Essence Extreme Volume Mascara in waterproof. Now, when I use this, I have got to brush my lashes out, and that's been with all of my mascaras, just to kind of make them nice and long and voluminous. Again, I don't use any mascara on my lower lashes. I haven't been in like months and months because it just transfers. So I've been enjoying this, but I will keep you guys updated because I've only used it about 3 or 4 times, and I think I need to use them a little bit. I think I need to use this a little bit longer to really give you a full review. But for now, so far, I really do like it. And I love the brush on this. So what I've been doing is I've been applying it, brushing it out, and then applying some more. Okay, so not too bad. The eyes look a lot better now with mascara. I'm pretty excited. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and finish off the rest of the face to finish off this video because it's already really long. So for bronzer, I'm going to use the Milani. This one is like kind of broken. The Milani Baked Bronzer in Dolce. Love this bronzer. It's so easy. It's so light. It is very light, but I really like it. It's really good for a drugstore bronzer. I think I mentioned it in my summer bronzers. One of my favorite blushes in the drugstore is e.l.f. e.l.f. has one of the best blushes at the drugstore. So I'm going to go in with this color right here. It doesn't have a name. This is the e.l.f. Blush Palette, and it's in light. I'll leave it all linked down below. I'm almost positive these are still available, but I'm going to go in with this color right here. This one. On camera it looks a little lighter, but it's more of a dusty mauve. And be careful. These are so pigmented. For highlight, haven't even opened this. This is the Wet n Wild highlighter in Crown of My Canopy. This is the more gold one. The other one I have used on my channel is the more peachy tone. So look how pretty that is. I know this one's like definitely like super gold. So I think what I'm gonna do is add a little bit of this first highlighter shade in the Carly Bible palette just to kind of diffuse that. I have not used this in so long. It's one of my favorite drugstore lipsticks. This is the Maybelline Matte lipstick in Almond Rose. One of my favorites. Alright guys, so that completes this look. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm just so impressed with how this whole look turned out. It just shows you that you can still create beautiful looks with drugstore makeup. Before I even knew what Ulta was, like all I knew was drugstore makeup. And then I worked at Macy's, so then I knew what like Lancome, Clinique, Estee Lauder, and Clarins was, only because I worked in Macy's as a cosmetic floater, so I worked in each counter. But other than that, I only ever bought makeup at the drugstore until I found the world of YouTube and Ulta and Sephora. Like, that is all I knew. So I'm seriously impressed. If all you have is drugstore makeup, you can create a look like this. Let me know down in the comments what you guys thought. If you guys liked everything I used, if you like how it turned out. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe down below if you haven't already. And until next time, you guys, I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.